Okay, this is our last tutorial and I'll call this one Loose Ends, and it's here that we're going to cover a handful of items that we've not yet seen. And the first one is using a number instead of the author's name in the image file name. Now why would we want to do that? Well, there's two reasons. One, some clubs are very concerned about the anonymity of their authors. And obviously if the image file name has got a number instead of a name, that's going to help there. And secondly, it avoids a problem we mentioned in an earlier tutorial when we talked about authors changing their names throughout the year and then the program having problems connecting that name with names in the database. And of course if they've got a number in there which coincides with numbers in the database, that problem goes away. So let's see how all that works. In this folder here I've got some images, 9 images, and instead of the author's name we've got numbers. And they're positions that those people are entered on the database. So let's load these up into ICPro. And we do Control C to copy those. And then we go to Pixet 1 and click the shortcut. There's nothing in there, I'll right click and paste. And there we go, we've got our 9 images into Pixet 1. And we'll close that down. And that one. We'll open up the program. And we'll load it Pixet 1. And click the load button. And it's processing. Complete. And there's our display order. And as you can see, the numbers have been converted into names that are in the database. And now we can carry on running the competition in exactly the same way as before. I'm going to return from there, and to see our next item we will just run that competition. I'll click 1, J for judging, and we start scoring. 12 for that one, 14 for that one. Now if you can imagine a situation where you've got perhaps even 100 pictures in a competition, you'll probably want to break halfway through the evening for tea or whatever. And you won't want to leave an image on the screen like what we've got now. But what we can do is pause. And to do that we use Control and Enter. So I can hold down the Control key and hit Enter. And you can see we get a pause screen up. And it just tells us to key Control and Enter again when we want to continue. Now if you're in group mode, or you're actually running an inter-club competition, from this screen you'll also be able to see some interim results. But we're in individual mode here, so there's no interim results to be shown. Incidentally, this pause function also works in comment mode. But we can Control and Enter and continue. And we'll continue to score these, get through to the results table, and we'll see the next item I want to show you. Very quickly score these. Almost there. And that's our post screen spacebar, and we get our results table. Now another thing we said we do when we can get to the results table is we can place images to give a clear first, second and third, and we can award certificates and highly commended. So I'm going to do that to a few of these images, and let's say the door number 5, I'm going to give that one a certificate. So if I click on that to select it, we get our green marker, and then I can key Enter to see that image and C to certificate it. And it says certificate yes or no, I'll go Y for yes. There we are, we've done that. And we can also place images, you remember, and we're going to place Zulu dancer perhaps in second place. I'll go P, 2, Y for yes. Remember in third place, Enter. P for place, 3 for third, Y for yes. And we've got to do all 3, so we do Tim Mine in first place. We'll Enter, P for place, 1 for first place, and yes. And now we've got our clear first, second and third. Now we've seen all that before, but what I want to show you now is what happens if we get to this stage and we suddenly realise things aren't exactly as we want them to be. We've done it wrong perhaps. Well, we can clear those results back to where they were when they first came up. And we do that with Control and X. So if you watch the positions 1, 2, 3 there in particular, if I hold down the Control key and go X, you can see that the clear 1, 2, 3 is gone, and we're back to the position we were when we first saw the results table. Now just one word of warning here, this is not reversible. You can place them again, but you cannot just click one button and go back to the placings. Okay, we're going to leave this screen and get back to the setup screen. So R to reset, Y yes. And for our next item, we're going to enlist the help of Pixet 6, where we got 3 images. Well, they've been loaded. I'm just going to click on the 6 so we can run through them. J for judging. And we'll score them very quickly. 13, 19 and 18. And we know from here that we can key X to save or print, so I'm going to key X. And what I want to look at now is this Shift S to include image link. Now with this feature, an HTML file will save exactly the same as when we just key S, but each item will have a hyperlink on it, so you can click on the title or the author's name and it will bring up the picture. And this of course could be very useful for putting on your own club website. So let's see how that works, and I'll hold down the Shift key and key S. We get the normal save dialog box up and we'll save that. Let's get out of this and get back to desktop and exit. And there's the HTML file, and if we double click on that to open it up, you can see the 3 items, and when I run the mouse over them you can see the icon change to a little hand icon, and that's because they're hyperlinked. Well, nothing will happen right now because with this file we need a couple of other folders to make it all work, and we can find those inside ICPro. So let's have a look for them. We go to Start, My Computer, C Drive, ICPro 18. And the 2 folders we require to go with the HTML file are on this page. First we need the Pixet, which contains the images which we've just judged and saved out, and that was Pixet 6. So I'm going to copy that, right click and copy, and paste it onto desktop. There we go. Now you must be very careful here and just copy Pixet 6. Whatever you do, don't delete it. And the other folder we need from this page is this one called Display Files. And likewise, we mustn't delete this, we just got to copy it. So right click and copy, and I'll paste it onto desktop. Right click and paste. Okay, we'll get rid of that. And we've now got the 3 items we can put on the club website to make all this work. But we can try it out here. Now I open up once again the HTML results file. And we'll click Viglen Montage. And as you can see, up comes the picture. We can close that down, and if we want to see full, we can click on that one, and up comes full. Now just one word of warning here. With certain browser settings, you will actually get this image and a completely black background. If you want to avoid that, the browser setting must be set up to always open pop-ups in a new window. Okay, let's get out of that and move on to our next item. Now more and more clubs want to use ICPro for scoring their print competitions. And there is a way of doing this. So we'll go back into the program. Single screen. And we've now got to set up a pick set in order to take scoring for a print competition. Now what we need to do is to pick a pick set which has images in it. Just one image will do, but we cannot do it if the pick set is empty. And that image in the pick set doesn't have to have anything to do with the print competition. So we'll pick, let's say, pick set 3. And now we've got to set up a few presets. And the presets we need to set up here are the load sort order, and we've got to put that on manual 2. And the other item is the title bar. Now we're only interested in judging or scoring the print competition, so we just click that for judging. And we want that title bar on the screen all the time, so that's full time. So just to recap there, we need a load sort order of manual 2, and we need a title bar on for judging and on full time. So we'll apply that to pick set 3. And now we'll go and load pick set 3. Now it tells us we're going to create a manual running order, so I'll say yes, I'm happy with that, and we get this screen which we've seen before. And what we need to do here is now type in the image titles and the authors' names of all the print entries, and we'll just put a couple in here just to see how all this works. The Mill by John Smith, and what else? The Night Sky by Patrick Moore. Now we've got to type in all the images which have been entered for the print competition in the order in which they will be displayed on the night. Now normally we browse here to find the images, but in this case we leave this browse box empty. And we can just save that and exit. So now as the print pictures are coming up on the easel and the judge is looking at them and scoring them, we can run pick set 3, go into judging mode, and we just get the title coming up along the top. And as the judge gives it a score, we can type in the score in the normal way and enter, and up comes the next title. And of course we can hold back exactly the same way as we've done in other competitions. We just haven't got any images here. So we give that one 18, let's say, and at the end we get a results table in exactly the same way. So that's how we can score print competitions. Of course we can also key X here and print out the results or save the results. Right, I'm going to reset that. And we got one final item to look at. Now when we open up ICPro, we do it here, we got this ICPro logo up the top. And you see that on quite a few pages as you go through the process of using the program. But you can, if you so wish, replace this with your own club logo. So how would you do that? Well, we'll exit here. I've actually prepared a club logo. Just a JPEG here. Let's just have a look at that. And it's for Maidstone Camera Club. And I'm going to put that into ICPro in place of the logo that's already there. Now the secret here is to get this about the right size. This image here is approximately 200 pixels long and about 50 or 60 pixels high. Now we can have it any size we want, but if we make it too big, it's going to displace other graphics on the page, and that won't look too good. So let's get this into ICPro. Now you'll notice that I've called it clublogo.jpg, and that's important. It's got to be called clublogo in lowercase .jpg. And we need to get into the code again of ICPro, so we can go to Start, My Computer, C Drive, ICPro 18, And here you will see there is already a file in here called clublogo.jpg, and that's the logo you normally see on the screen. Well, we can just click on that and F2 and change the name of that. I'm just going to change that, put an X in front of it. And I'm doing that rather than deleting it, so that if I ever want to go back to the normal ICPro logo, I can do so quite easily. And now we need to put our new one in there. There it is. I can just grab hold of it and drag it in. And we've now got our Maidstone Camera Club logo into the program. So let's see how all that's going to look. We can open it up. And we've now got Maidstone Camera Club at the top of the screen. And that would appear in every place where we had the ICPro logo in the past. I do hope you found all these tutorials helpful. Thank you.